Hello sweet friends, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the game show I like to call Is It Farmhouse? You know I do shabby chic, you know I do cottage core, and I do things a little spooky too, but can I do farmhouse? You'll be the judge. Today is Everything Farmhouse with my two friends, Katie of Lady Red Crafting and Lisa of Our Gray House, as we put together this Everything Farmhouse open playlist. So remember to check out their channels as well as everyone else on the playlist. For this first video, I'm just using these two little wooden, oh gosh, what do they call them? Not butcher blocks, cutting boards. Yeah, it's these little cutting boards that remind me of little butcher blocks. Anyway, I'm taking these two little cutting boards and I'm going to make use of something that you would normally just throw away, but I just didn't have the heart to. Actually, a friend of mine was going to throw it away and I recuperated the items I'm going to use next. So for this, I just decided to use a little bit of white chalk paint or matte paint that I got from Folk Art. Folk Art paint, part of the Plaid family of products. And all I'm going to do is, I figured it's farmhouse, so let's do wood and let's whitewash it kind of thing. That's what I decided to go with. So you tell me, remember, I'm not that proficient in farmhouse, but I'm going to try to do my best with these projects. But you have to judge and let me know, is it farmhouse? After letting both of my boards dry, I am going to just stamp a few of these little crockery labels. I think that's what they're called, from IOD a couple of years ago. These crockery labels, and you can see that I'm just testing it out there. And I just thought I would add a little bit to the background. Now, I didn't want to put too much in the background. I wanted to keep it kind of simple, just black and white, because of what's going to come next. I didn't know if it was going to be covered or not, and I just wanted these small little touches of these little labels to make it a little more farmhouse. So now you get to meet my two casualties. Remember a while back a friend of mine had a tea party for her mom? Well, one of the tea sets actually fell down, and I said, oh my goodness, don't throw that away, because number one, this is English transferware. I wanted to cry when I saw that it broke, but since it's split in half so perfectly, both the tea cup and the tea saucer, I thought this was a perfect idea to reuse and create something else. And I thought it was very farmhouse. Now maybe it's French farmhouse, I don't know, you tell me. What do you think? Is this farmhouse? I think the fact that I'm reusing something that would otherwise been thrown away, to me it makes it farmhouse, because I believe that farmhouse, utilizes things and makes the best of it. Now I am going to tell you, even though it appears that I just used some hot glue, I do include a little bit of E6000, and I didn't film it. I don't know why. But I do glue both with hot glue and E6000. First, I wanted the hot glue to set it in place, and then the areas that didn't glue with the hot glue, I did go back with a thin line of E6000 right underneath. And as you can see here, I'm just pairing together the teacup and the tea saucer. And it's funny that one of the sides of the teacup that broke actually has a little handle, which I think looks adorable. I was just so happy to be able to rescue this precious little teacup and tea saucer, because as I said before, I love English transferware. I only have maybe 3 or 4 teacups in my collection that are English transferware, and I always wanted to buy a full set. But for now, I'll be very happy just with the few that I have, and these. I think this is going to be such a cute addition to my house, and I think to any farmhouse, if you ask me. But again, you're the judge. Is it farmhouse? I truly think this is, and I think it could even be French farmhouse and cottagecore. But now you're asking me, what am I going to do with this once I hang it up on the wall? What use is it going to be? Now I will show you what my ideas were for these two cute little saucers. Well, 1/2 saucer. First of all, I'm going to add a little apparatus to be able to hang them on the wall. And then I'm going to create a floral decor, a floral arrangement in one of the teacups. Using the Dollar Tree styrofoam that I'm sure you've all seen, that is kind of looks like you could just put it into a teapot, or a teacup I should say, and of course Spanish moss, or any kind of moss that you can find. I don't think this is the Spanish moss per se, who knows, maybe it is. And some lovely florals that I have from Temu, and I love this pale kind of mauve-y pink a very pale dusty pink, I want to call it. I didn't want anything that would clash necessarily, and I didn't necessarily want to use yellow. I am going to use yellow in some other designs, but there you have it. I think it came out so cute and so adorable, and this could be used in the kitchen or in a bathroom. You can use both of them side by side, or one in one room and one in another room, but I just think this is so dainty and feminine, and dare I say it, a little shabby chic. Maybe this is a shabby farmhouse. Let's call it shabby farmhouse, shall we? I'm happy with that. Now for the other one, I was going to use it as a jewelry holder. I think it's perfect to have right beside your bedside or right beside the kitchen sink. Now, what's a farmhouse without a welcoming wreath, making the home nice and cozy for anybody who stops by? So I decided to make my wreath using one of these smaller hula hoops that are available now at the Dollar Tree. Whenever they have these available, please buy extra hula hoops. They're so inexpensive and they're so practical. Now I'm going to use, speaking of hula hoops, I'm going to use hula skirts. That's right, I'm going to use these grass hula skirts to create my own wreath. So I know that natural fibers and natural products and natural items are perfect for farmhouse looks, and I just love it's like very large raffia. You don't have my troubles with raffia, just like I have it with moss, but we've become friends, and especially when you stop and consider that hula hoops are just big raffia hoops or skirts or whatever. Yeah, so why not use them as you would or create your own kind of raffia wreath? And all I'm doing here is taking sections of the hula skirt and gluing them first, just securing them down, and then wrapping them around the hula hoop. It's so easy and so fun, and this took no time at all. And again, there are so many products that are sold in the summertime you should take advantage of and use, because these can be used all year round. You can make this for Christmas wreaths or for Halloween or for fall. This is beautiful for fall, and you can actually paint the raffia or whatever that material is for the hula hoop skirts. And here you can see that I finished wrapping all around and gluing and securing each end as I added them on. Now I'm going to add the next hula hoop skirt. So if you notice, the table shook because one of the cats caught onto the table. But the way I'm securing this down, instead of wrapping the actual hula hoop skirt around the hoop, I am just going to lay, as you see it here, I'm laying down that raffia, I don't know what else to call it, and I'm going to secure it with this twine. Now I didn't have twine, I found this rope and I thought this was just fine instead of twine. And as you can see, I'm just making sure that in between each section that I'm securing down, I'm giving it a little bit of a lift. Just, you'll see later on, it's very easy to connect and add flowers to these areas that I'm securing down with rope. And I just thought that it looked so pretty and so natural and just so inviting. And again, because you can create this for any occasion, and instead of just buying one of those wire wreath forms for what, $3.50, I guess, you're going $3.75 actually. You're going to create, because it's $1.25 for each thing, you can create your own wreath form and just have it as, you can create a whole bunch of these and have them ready for fall or for Halloween or for Christmas time or for any and all of the seasons. I think this is a great, instead of getting grapevine wreaths that are very expensive, this can be a great alternative. And again, you can paint them in any color. Imagine painting this orange or black for Halloween, and you can paint them even white and put glitter on it, and you can use something like this as well for Christmas. There is so much you can do with this type of wreath form, just as your basics. Flower wreath, and I think it just looks so beautiful. One thing I do love about Farmhouse, they make good use of ribbons. So here I'm going to make good use of the ribbons that I have. First, I have this beautiful net mesh that I had left over, and I know it's from Dollar Tree, as well as a whole mixture of ribbons that I have either from Dollar Tree or I found on clearance. By the way, Hobby Lobby has a huge clearance going on. Please check out their ribbons and take advantage of when you can buy things on sale instead of spending $9 for a roll of ribbon, that if you can buy it for $1.50 or $1.75. What a difference. What an economical way to keep your home beautiful. So here I'm doing this crisscross. I am ribbon challenged. You guys know this. I'm bow challenged. And as I always say, and no offense to the bow-legged, but it's better to be bow challenged than bow-legged. And again, no offense to anybody that's bow-legged out there. I just thought it's a cute reference. Maybe not. I don't know. I hope not to offend anybody. But here I'm just putting together, and I do need a bodabra. I think I'm going to invest in a bodabra for myself because I need one. I'm not very good. Again, if you're not good with bows, you might as well get a bodabra. Now here I'm using this wonderful burlap and lace because, of course, it's a little shabby chic. Again, I think it's more shabby farmhouse than anything else. Farmhouse chic, whatever you want to call it. So I'm putting together this bow, just using the leftovers I had from the ribbons that I had in my stash. Thankfully, I had all of these in my stash. And I like using those pipe cleaners, or not called pipe, chenille stems. Because I think that's the best and easiest way to make bows and attach them to your wreaths. And there you have it. You can see me attaching it there. Now I'm fluffing it up and making pretty. And I think this is a lovely, welcoming wreath for any farmhouse decor, especially since I used a little bit of that beige and white buffalo check. I think it looks perfect with the lace and the yellow. And again, I can change it out for each of the seasons or create new ones for each of the different seasons. I hope you try this yourself. So how am I doing so far with my farmhouse? This is definitely, I hope this is farmhousey. I hope everything I've done is farmhousey enough. Now, I found this tag again. It was like 90% off after spring last year, believe it or not. And so I decided to reuse this now. At the bottom, I didn't focus on it, but there is a black and white checkered or buffalo check paper across the bottom of it, or painting. So I decided to cover it all black. Don't ask me why. It was farmhouse. All I had to do is cover up the ladder, but I made it more difficult for myself. That's okay, because that way it can be all new just for me and my style. Now, farmhouse does use a lot of white, but so does shabby chic. So I don't know. Is it farmhouse? You let me know. Anyway, I decided to kind of distract. I was trying to do like dry brushing. Here's my problem with dry brushing. I'm not very good at like straight lines. I don't know if you notice this, but sometimes they go askew a little bit to the side, but that's okay. I just decided to paint the whole tag and make sure that some of it was streaky, so that you can see a little bit of the black in the background. Now, I could have like removed it, but I like it like this. I don't know. What do you think? Does it look like it's a wood grain? I wanted it to look very, very farmhouse and very rustic. So this is what I went for. I'm hoping it works. Now, next I had this wonderful wall pocket, and I decided to, make it a little more rustic, adding a little bit of rope to the trim of this this wonderful half bucket. It looks like a half bucket. And I was gonna rust it and stuff, and I said, what, let's just leave it galvanized. I like the galvanized, and just make the best of it using that little piece of rope. And here, let me just tell you something. I nicked myself right there. Oh yeah, you did, girl. You nicked yourself. So just be careful when you're using scissors, even as an adult. Just be careful. Be wise. Anyway, here I'm using that little piece of rope, and now, believe it or not, I have a farmhouse stencil. I know, right? In my stash, I found this little farmhouse stencil. I believe this is from Dollar Tree, and I thought, hey, let's add this. Now, I don't know. Should I have just like stenciled it as it was? The way I did it was I covered up the halfway point and I stenciled the top, then I moved it up a little and then stenciled the bottom so it wasn't all over that rigid, the ridges. Does that make sense? Anywho, So that's me stenciling. I'm just using some of that white paint again and a little dabber, a little makeup sponge. And see, now I moved it up just a little bit. So that circle in the middle is going to be complete. You're not going to see that little leaf right away because I do add it later. I made a mistake with that, but it's okay. We're fine. We are doing fine with that. Anyway, so here I am just adding and dabbing that paint. And hopefully it comes out okay. I can't remember. I think it comes out okay. Do you think it comes out okay? I think it does. Anyway, so here's the great reveal. Don't you love it when you use a stencil and it turns out fine? So what do you think? I mean, I didn't want to put it all over the ridges at the bottom. Now here's where I'm adding the little leaf, and I didn't really measure it too well, but it's okay. It's okay. It's rustic. It's farmhouse. Let it dry before you put a stencil on top. Remember that, so you don't smush the paint that you just painted. And there, I'm putting the little leaf. It's not right in the center, but it's cute enough. It's cute enough. And then I decided to put the established at 1905 or something on either side. And it worked out just fine as well. I really like the way this turned out. So I hope you do too. Now, how to decorate this? Let's take a look. Next, I'm going to attach this flower bucket, wall pocket, whatever you want to call it, and put it onto the tag. And I did use a little bit of E6000 once again, and hot glue, but mainly hot glue. I don't know if it'll stay on. If I don't put very heavy flowers in there, it should stay on if I just have hot glue. Because I can't remember now if I used E6000. So here I'm going to decorate it using some Spanish moss and some beautiful lemon branches that I got at Dollar Tree. And I hadn't used it yet. And we're almost at the end of, no, we're not at the end of, we're in the middle of summer, okay? Haven't used the lemons. Now, I'm already thinking of Halloween and Christmas, so that's why I get confused. Are we at the end of summer, at the beginning of summer? That's how it is. And I haven't taken, well, I'm going on vacation. The week you see this, I'm going to be on vacation. I hope to be safely in Savannah, Georgia. So here I'm just adding those wonderful branches of lemons. And again, some of these, I guess they're baby's breaths, whatever you want to call it. But I love the color of these little florals that I'm also adding to just fill up space. And I love the way this turned out. Now, I didn't create another ribbon for another bow for this, but if I wanted to, I could. And there you have it. I love it. What about you? Now you be the judge. Is everything farmhouse? I sure hope so, because I want to thank my co-hosts, Lisa of Our Gray House and Katie of Lady Red Crafting, for asking me to join them with this Everything Farmhouse playlist, as well as all the other crafters who joined us today. Thanks again for stopping by, and if you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. And as I always say, as the sun sets over my farmhouse, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure, and I'll see you again soon.